Good morning, Mr. Phelps. This is your mission, should you choose to accept it.
Well, hello, and welcome again to HCC MovieMakers Academy Movie Reviews. This is Soroosh, Mehdi.
And I'm Sami, Ismail, and we're Houston Community College students and filmmaking students on our way to making great films. And this show is brought to you by HCC Filmmaking Program and HCC TV.
And today we're going to be discussing the film Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible is basically an American version of the James Bond, the American James Bond. He's an IMF agent, the Impossible Mission Task Force. In this synopsis, it's basically about Ethan Hunt accepting a mission through his former boss, Jim Phelps, which is played by Jon Voight. They get the task of recovering a knock list. It's basically the full list of actual names and aliases of pretty much the entire CIA knock agents. Basically the guys that are on the field. We're talking about the ones that are actually doing all the secret agent stuff. And what that is basically, back in 1996, they called that a breach of national security. And what they're supposed to do is intercept the man that they believe is going to be stealing the knock list. And the thing is, they succeed, but the thing is, Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise's character, actually is so witty, so smart, so clever. He's like the best at his job. And what he does is he starts figuring out little conspiracy flips around what really happened on the night of their mission. And what happens is he finds out that whole mission that night was a complete setup by the CIA to catch a mole that was in the CIA, their system. And apparently, after all the mishaps in the mission that Ethan Hunt was a part of, he's the only survivor. The entire team supposedly has died off. And what happens is the CIA thinks it was him that is the mole because all these little things are leaking out. The list is out in the open, and Ethan Hunt is pretty much on his own on this one. After the mission goes afoot. So, tell me, Sami, what do you think about this film?
Well, this particular one wasn't as exciting to me as the rest of them. The story was decent. It was entertaining. However, I didn't like the special effects in the film. I think they were, even for 1996, they seemed to, I didn't like the way not only the special effects, the whole way the movie was filmed. It had a very detective sort of feel to it. Maybe something like a 1940s film in it. It just didn't, I
think
that's one thing that I didn't.
I think what you're referring to, the thing about it is that it in the beginning it takes place in Prague. I don't know if you know where that is. That's actually it's actually on the border between Prussia and Germany and Russia, pretty much. This is it's basically a European city, and dude, they've got old school street lights, and they're not entirely modern like we are. They don't have electronic. They don't have everything that is 100%, modernized. It's they've got a nice, old, classy and very classy city that was built way before America was even discovered. So, I think what you mean by the 1940s thing, it is classic. It's classical. It's just not.
Even if it was filmed in that city, it was filmed. A lot of the movie was sort of in the dark, the beginning starts off, it's a party, obviously. Then they're out in the dark.
And I really think Brian De Palma did that on purpose because the beginning of the movie, you're not supposed to know who the real bad guy is. In the end, when you see Ethan Hunt actually putting all the pieces together and he figures it all out, he basically figures out that it was John Voight, his boss, the guy that hired him in the first place to do that first mission is the one that's the mole in the CIA, okay? And he's the agent that is trying to make money off of the knock list. Thing is, in the beginning of the movie, since we've seen it a few more times than once, but if you just take it back to the first time you saw the movie, did you know that he was the bad guy in the beginning? No. See, so the whole point though is for us not to know, and I really think they accomplished that. That much.
I think they told the story in that aspect. They told it very well that you didn't know who the bad guy was. You learned it. You sort of learned it. But
and I liked that about.
I like that about
this. It's that you were basically figuring everything out along with Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise's character, and also one of the things.
Didn't he say he knew, like towards the end?
Towards the end, he knew. Yeah, he did tell everybody, but Jim Phelps also knew. John Voight also knew that Ethan Hunt knew. The thing is, it's when he found out that Claire, the wife, also knew and was also a part of the whole thing, and they got intimate, dude. Okay, remember that's the scene where they get intimate because they think that Jim Phelps is dead, and they think he's not coming back. So it's just when he saw him that first time, back from the dead, basically
he sort of figured it out.
When he
figures
it out,
that's
when he started putting it all together that it wasn't Kittredge.
Yeah.
So they all thought,
I think the last maybe towards the ending is where I had the most problem with this film. It was the special effects was a problem. Special effects where he was on the train, the whole train sequence at the end. That looked really funny.
When the helicopter enters into the tunnel, that was kind of a little far-fetched, but
not even before the tunnel. It looked it really looked really fake.
Because again, it was 1996. Okay, it was 1996.
I think this film was a little bit lower budget than the rest of the.
Well, obviously, because this was the first installment of the franchise. So. They had to start somewhere. They always had to start somewhere. So, but to be honest with you, I really think the first one was better than the second one. Obviously,
I think the story was better.
It's not supposed to be about action. Mission Impossible is supposed to be about espionage. It's supposed to be about. And I really think it accomplished that. I really think Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise's character, was amazing, and he brought
the character back from it was originally a 1960s or
it was a
something,
1950s 1960s show.
Yeah, and he brought it back well. Tom Cruise brought it back well. He produced it. He
produced it, and I think he co-produced it. Yeah, he produced this one. It's just again, I can't really stress enough that this film compared to the third one too. Actually, the third one wasn't so good. But again, I really think when he established Ethan Hunt's character in the first one,
it was done well.
Good.
It was done well. It was done powerful enough.
Well.
It was done very powerful enough to where they could have made 3 more films. So what did you think about it? What is your how would you rate this film?
For me, for 1996, I would give this an 8. Because it accomplished what it was supposed to accomplish, an espionage spy movie.
Because of the special effects, I think a 7 out of 10. So.
Okay, well.
We love films. If you love films, visit the Spring Branch campus filmmaking program and sign up for a class. We are brought to you by HCC TV and filmmaking program. You can visit us online at hcc.edu.
And if you'd like to watch more reviews, please visit us on our YouTube channel, the HCC MovieMakers Movie Reviews, and subscribe to our channel.